Okay, hello everyone, and hi Son. Welcome to Spiritual Psychic TV this evening again, and it's lovely to see you all. Okay, and this evening the concept of our show again is teaching mediumship, but also breaking down the mediumship again. For you guys that are development out there, there should be seeing people, how we work as mediums and how we break it down. And as the show goes on this evening, we'll bring in a development medium watching the journey of Natalie. And I'll bring in also another mentor this evening. So keep that as a bit of a surprise just before I bring him in. Okay, and you basically the concept is how we work as different mediums, different mentors, but everything comes together in the same way. Okay, so, and it'll be lovely to say my hellos to everyone, and I'm just going to get ready and we'll bring Natalie and Tony in just in a moment. Which one we do? Right, what I'm going to do is I'll change headphones. Do you know how many I have bought? Right, so what we're going to do is, as I say, the concept will be learning, breaking down mediumship, but also we'll be looking for a member of the public. We would like you to come on again and work with us in our mediumship, and how we will take you through the journey and nurture you, coming all the way forward, but never be nervous, and that's the main thing, and it will just show how we'll work together as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, without further ado, I'm going to bring Natalie on. Yep, and we're also going to introduce you tonight to one of our guys out there that is his own church, but also as a mentor as well, and Tony Challis.
Good evening.
Hi guys.
There we go. Now, how quiet is everybody tonight? So, like I say, guys, welcome to Tony and welcome to Natalie that you're all starting to get to know as the regular in the show. Natalie's running mediumship. Tony's going to come in and he's going to do his bit of mediumship, but he's also going to show how he mentors his students as well. Okay, so Tony's getting put in the spot tonight. All right, so if you'd like to say some hellos, let's see who we all have tonight. Okay, and let me see, do we have Pamela out there this evening?
No.
Sorry, peeps, can't see you, but Sarah Pip.
We'll get there.
Yeah, Terry, good evening. Okay, Tony, Natalie, you want to say hi to Terry?
Yeah, hi, Terry.
And dear Serendipity, good evening to Seren. Listen, I just call you Seren.
Hi, Christine.
Hi, lovely Christine and Kaylee Watts. Good evening to you too.
Good evening, Melvin Peters. Lovely to see you.
And Angham, good evening. And we have Tony in the background. Tony's a bit shy, so send him a bit of love. He's sitting there all shy. Hi, Helen Lisa Davis. Good evening to you this evening. And Shara Langlands. Hello, lovely to see you. And I do love that picture.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam. Good morning. So, we're getting Marilyn McFarlane. Oh, we do. I'm an MAC though. And Natalie Bentley, evening, Natalie. We always remember you and the reading Natalie done.
Yeah. Hi, Melanie. Lovely to see you.
There's Rebecca Whalen. You're a regular in the show. Hello, and Stacey. Should have saw that cat before. We're waiting on Tony catching up, everyone.
Tony's just sitting there a bit
Hi,
nervous.
Simone.
It's just a natural thing, isn't it? A bloke with two women, I'm not going to get a word in edgeways.
So that would, thank you, Terry. You tell him.
Hello, Terry.
There you go. Someone's sticking up for you tonight, Tony. And
Hi, Jackie. From Newcastle.
hello. And what we're going to do is when the guys are saying hellos, we're going to start. Thank you. Now, while we're still saying some hellos, what we'll do is we'll start rolling some names and we're going to get Natalie. Natalie's always in the hot seat because this is her journey. And the concept of the show is also students on their journey through their mediumship, watching how they actually evolve. So Natalie will pick some names. She'll look at some names and we'll see who she's drawn to. And then we'll get her to read. But I'll also come in and Tony will come in if Tony livens up a wee bit and we'll get him out of stage fright. Okay.
I've only been doing mediumship for 38 years, so it is frightening, isn't it?
It is, my darling. We'll start speaking up then.
All right, I'll try.
And hello, Leandro. So carry on, Marshall. So what
Probably you know me, Clara. If I speak up too much, you'll end up kicking me off.
Yeah, so Natalie's just having a look through all your names, peeps, when you're saying hello, and she'll see who she's drawn to. Okay, Natalie, have a look, darling. And what she's doing as well, when she's looking, what happens is when we're linking, and Tony will come in here and he'll probably support this and may not support. But as mediums, we get what we call a quickening. So our heart starts racing, the adrenaline pumps when we know who we should be with. And there's Kaylee Nicholas. Hello, Kaylee.
Okay. Hi, Jodie and Mum. Yeah, so what'll happen, guys, is as your names are going through, all of a sudden you'll just really get that. With me, I get that love link. I will just feel the energy change and I'll feel a link straight away.
How do you feel the energy change? What does it do, Tony? Does your heart get faster? Do you get warmer, colder?
So I always go hot anyway when I work with spirit. I don't know why, but I always do. But my heart races and I can feel a love link. Even it can be somebody coming through, because obviously some of our family that we've lost to spirit, we didn't get on with while they were down here. But when they come through, they always come through with love and light, always. So you really do feel that change in your heart, in your
stomach. So it feels
stomach.
the quickening, the adrenaline pump.
Yeah, and your stomach changes as well. You get a churn in your stomach, and that's spirit basically saying we're knocking the door, and that's whose door we're knocking.
Okay, thank you for that, Tony. So there you go. We have that one thing the same, and then as Tony says, he warms up where some of us don't. So it's that difference. So Natalie, well, we've been chatting. I hope you find your link. Hurry up, you should have been listening to us.
There's a lady called Stacey, and it's just Stacey. Can't remember what it was on.
Is it the one with the cat?
That's the one. The one with the cat, yeah, that's the one. So it's Stacey from YouTube. She's on YouTube. Straight away, I've got an older lady here. I do feel like this lady is grandmother, because she's given me that grandmother feeling, sorry. But I do know that this lady did become quite unwell at the end of her life, because she's just making me aware that she was very unwell. But I do want to say that this lady did, I almost want to say she did fall asleep. She fell asleep. She gives me the feeling that she was a very feisty lady, But at the same time, I want to say that she was quite laid back, and she did enjoy a good natter. She did enjoy a good chat. I know this lady could also tell stories because she's just making me aware there that she used to be a brilliant storyteller.
Okay, Stacey,
and she
just
would,
while Natalie, can you hold your
Yeah.
communicator? Natalie's going to hold talking to your grandmother a minute, and it's a discipline we work at as mediums. Just if we can get a wee bit of validation, Stacey, yes, that would be your grandmother, and just quickly type validation so Natalie knows she's right with her link here as well, because we need that yes or no and what we're validating.
And also,
Um,
your loved ones in spirit want to know that you're aware it's them there as well. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tony. So, run again, Natalie, and let's see
Yeah.
Stacey, if you can validate some things, darling.
I do know that this lady did like her costume jewellery because Gran's showing me that she did wear the clip-on earrings. But I'm also getting a necklace with grandmother, and I do feel like this is a real necklace. It's not just costume jewellery. I do feel like this lady had some sort of emerald necklace because I can see the emeralds. So I know this lady did have an emerald necklace, and I want to say that this is here. I want to say that this is still here on Earth plane. So I know somebody would have this emerald necklace. But I do also know that this lady did. I want to say she also had some arthritis as well because I'm feeling that in my hands. So I do know this lady did struggle with her hands, and I do know that she did knit as well because she's just making me aware that she couldn't knit near the latter years of her life. And I want to say that this got her quite frustrated because she loved knitting for the new babies that were coming into the family. I also know that this lady did have she's actually telling me a story about her teeth. Now I've been getting this quite a lot lately, to be quite honest. But this lady's making me aware that this lady had most of her teeth. She's making me aware that she had most of her teeth. She didn't lose a lot of teeth. But I do want to say she did have a few false ones, but she's just making me aware that she did have most of her teeth. And I also want to say thank you. I also want to say that this lady, she didn't go grey, but when she did go grey, it was very quickly. I want to say it was like she had brown hair for a long time, and then all of a sudden it just went grey. Bless her. But I do know that she did like her hair. She did like her hair done. So I know even though she wasn't well, I do want to say this lady had somebody coming in to do her hair. I am also getting a wedding ring as well, so I do know that this lady was married. But I do feel like this lady was on her own for a while. I might be wrong, but I do feel like this lady was on her own for a while. And I also know that this lady had a big heart, because she's just coming through all that love. She is giving me the month of June, and I do feel like this is a birthday because she's showing me balloons, so I do feel like this is a birthday. I will leave you Gran's love though, because I do feel like I'm struggling now. And I'm gonna thank her for coming through. So thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Natalie. Thank you so much, Stacey, for validating that. And yep, she was married. And as Natalie said there as well, she felt struggling. And sometimes what happens is when we're starting to, we're not losing the link as in losing the person. It just means either our energy's dipped or it's dipped somewhere, and we know then that we can't chat much longer. And Natalie, when you were doing that reading with Stacey, what was your feelings again when you were going through? Because Natalie works with emotions and feelings, which we would call clairsentience. Okay, so you're going through the emotional. So can you break that down a bit for Stacey? Did you see anything at the same time?
So I get like images in my head.
Which is clairvoyance then? So
yeah, clairvoyance, yeah. So I get images in my head. So if I have a grandmother, I normally do see my grandmother in my head. They work with my memories a lot as well. So I get a lot of memories, my own memories. And that's how I portray the message. But it is a bit like piecing a jigsaw. So you've normally got to put that image with a feeling that you're feeling at that time, and then portray it across the correct way.
And it's having that
Yeah.
confidence to do it as well. Like watching Natalie's journey, you peeps, you'll see how more confident she's getting, and working with memories. Like say, a lot of mediums work with memories. So if we're not sure our communicator is Natalie, would have seen her grandmother in her head. So then she knows she has a grandmother. And you'll find a lot of mediums do that. It comes into the inner head and the brain, your unconscious. It's called your clairvoyance, because it's inner visions. And Tony, would you do that? How do you work if you've got a grandmother? Do you work with clairvoyance as well?
Yeah, I work with clairvoyance, clairsentience. I do see spirit. I never see spirit the way I see a human being, because if we saw them that way, you wouldn't know what the difference was between the two. But yeah, I suppose I'm quite lucky, really, because I see, I smell, I hear everything, really. So I'm quite lucky.
Yeah, so that's quite a few of the clairs Tony's went through there. So, and your clairaugustance as well is smelling. Okay, the clairvoyance is seeing. And as Tony said, though, and a very valid point, he sees them visually, but not as he could touch them as such. Because then the valid point is, if we could all see spirit, Tony quite rightly said, we would never know the difference between spirit world and this world. So we would basically be mingling all day, and there would be no points in mediumship then to show beyond reasonable doubt we are communicating. And there's Pamela Roger. Hi, Pamela. Here's your shout out, my darling, tonight. Okay.
Hi, Pamela.
And there's Tony and Natalie.
Hi, Pamela.
There you go, my darling. So, like I say, we have the 8 clairs. 4 most common ones are your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, as Tony hears things, Natalie hears things as well. Then you have your clairsentience, it's just a knowing, okay. And then I've actually forgot myself. I've not forgot claircognizance as well. You're just a knowing. Then you have the clairgustance, smelling. You also have what we call clairtangent or clairkinesis. That's actual touch, but that's a very, very rare part of mediumship that not a lot can do. And it doesn't mean somebody has a less ability, it just means it's something they don't do. We all have different abilities in life. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some names, and we'll be drawn to another one, and I'm going to come in with Natalie in this one. I'm going to go let Natalie choose. I'll come in one, and we'll show you how we do a bit of psychic as well. Okay, so mediumship, remember, you're describing who you have. Oh, Tony will be doing reading soon. Tony's sitting there keeping quiet. Now, listen, peeps, I have Richard in here in my ear, the voice. Okay. And Tony will be coming in as well doing readings. We're just letting him warm up. We're just letting them get warmed up. And we'll do a bit of each, and we'll show you the psychic as well. And psychics, remember, peeps, that's what's going on in your life. A communicator would never divulge your confidences or what's going on in your life, but we will, because that's what we call psychic. We can come in, but we certainly wouldn't divulge your confidences live out there. Mediumship is describing your communicator.
Just really quickly, Clara. Just really quickly. I don't want to butt in or anything, but Danielle, there's a young lady there. I can't think of her surname. It said Danielle someone. I don't know if we can get her name back up, can we? Danielle Graham, that's it. Danielle Graham, just to let you know, if I can just let you know that there is a gentleman that's in the spirit world who is saying that he is safely arrived and he's happy over the other side, and the communications will come eventually. They will come eventually. I think you're looking for something really, really poignant at the moment, but you're not ready for it. Can you understand where that's coming from? I just needed to let that one go over, because this gentleman won't leave me alone. Otherwise, he's in my ear all the time. So I'll now pass back to Clara and Natalie. Sometimes when spirit insists, they will not let you
Yeah.
go. They'll just keep on and on and on. So sometimes you have to give it. And now I've just asked him to step back a little bit.
And what will happen is Tony says he'll step back and he'll come back, and that's how we'll work. We work that bit differently. Say the things to Tony, I'll just say it there and then. And when the gentleman comes in, we will go with the gentleman then. And also we can look at your, there we go. Yeah, absolutely. Would love to stick with this link now, because even looking at the photograph, that tells you a lot. But we're going to try not look at your photograph too much, because that person could still be living actually. So we never actually just surmise. And you're right. And thank you, Tony. He's not come through yet.
I knew he hadn't come through because the strength of this gentleman at this present moment is not the strongest, because he's still learning the other side what he needs to do. And he's also saying to me that when he would have been on the airplane, he wouldn't have actually believed in all this. He would have known something, but he wouldn't have wanted to admit that all of this was true. Okay, so what he's saying to me now is, you need to live your life on the airplane. You cannot. He's telling me that your heart is really, really broken at the moment. And the spirit world are trying to help with that broken heart. And as they're showing me this, I'm really, really getting quite tearful. And I do feel that the tears are coming from your end rather than the spirit world end. And also as well, I've got a little lady that stands alongside this gentleman. And this little lady that stands alongside this gentleman would have been a force to reckon with. And I'm going to actually do as I'm told, because I'm a bit scared of her, to be honest with you. But she's a lovely, lovely soul. Don't let me get that wrong. She is a really, really lovely soul. And she's also mentioning Jean. She wants to mention the name of Jean, and she also wants to take me to September. And she's also jumping me back to May as well. And she's saying May's very important. And she's also talking about 3. So there must be, there's either 3 children with you, or there was 3 children around her. But the 3 is very important, she's telling me. And also, when I'm going back to September, she wants to jump me to the 27th of September. She was insisting on that. She's taking me back. And if they take me back, I know that there's something that I've missed, not them. But this gentleman, he will come through. He will come through. Just bear with him. He's out of pain now. He's telling me that he's out of pain now. He's pain free. And I hope you can understand that. But he's saying that. Okay.
Yeah, let's go back to the Jean then. We'll take that in a minute. And for Tony, I love how you say he's taking a while to come through. Now, Tony, you've just right into a reading there. So he's here. So
He's here.
He's here. You've just went right into it, and what fantastic evidence. Now, the Jean as well, just coming in with that with Tony then, I want to put Jean would have been a neighbour, because I'm looking round the houses here. Okay, and I want to say I'm going to a neighbour, but I actually want to change the name Jean more to Jane. Okay, so I know I've got a Jane link there. I'm looking at neighbours, but I also want to come to the work environment. And I'm looking at, and funny, that looks like a workman's club to me as well. But I know as well, he would have been round about 3, as Tony said. 3 is the magic number. Okay, and that was the song I kept hearing when Tony was saying that as well. I do know the name David would link into this man as well, because I want to go to David. There you go. So Jane was a neighbour. So there you go. So that's what we do as mediums. If we're not sure, you can take that. So we just come in and support each other, and then we've all got the same link, and that's how we work as mediums. She was a neighbour. So there you go. So also I want to say as well though, but I'm looking at Liverpool docks here. Now I'm not sure if he was on the Liverpool docks, and I don't feel he was, but what I do want to say when I look at these, I know someone's been the painter and decorator roundabout as well. I know James will link in there, but I feel I would have been called Jim at one point as well. And I do know as well, I do have the link down south, okay, because I really have to keep going down south here, down England, and again back to Liverpool, and I've just actually seen the Adelphi Hotel. So I know someone was a socialist at one point, and he would have stuck up for people's working rights. Okay, it would also have, it would never have liked injustices happening to people, if that would make sense to you, because the Adelphi Hotel is where, I'm trying not to say the political party, but where political parties had their meetings and union reps. And that's where, I'm not saying he was in it as a union rep, but I know that was the character he was. Okay, and like I say, James or Jim is really strong round about the man in David. I do know as well, when I come back to Tony with March, I feel there was a birthday there, but also a passing, because I've just seen a daffodil there. And that normally comes into someone passing. I know as well, he did have issues round about the stomach. And I want to as well say, as much granddad, but I feel I've got a dad here as well, okay, dad or stepdad, but I'm on that kind of link. Okay, so I'm straight in the dad. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, now Natalie spoke. Now it's your lucky night. 3 is a magic number. Now Natalie's going to come in this link, and Natalie's going to give what she's got now, Danielle, if that's okay with you, darling.
Yeah, I do feel dad. I do feel like this is dad. But I also get the stomach problems. But I also get some laboured breathing as well. So I do feel like dad was quite laboured on breathing near the end of his life. But I feel like dad, he doesn't want you to remember him like that, because I feel like you have watched him deteriorate. And that is hard for anybody to watch, never mind a daughter. So I can only imagine. But he doesn't want you to remember him like that. He wants you to remember him as the jolly, happy. I actually want to say he did sing. I do want to say Dad did sing, because I can see him running. I can see him pottering about the house, just singing away. But I can also see him dancing as well. So I know he did like a good party, because I am seeing him dancing as well. I'm seeing him on the dance floor, and I want to say, Dad wants you to remember him like that. He wants you to remember him, the happy, jolly, enthusiastic gentleman that he was. Because I feel like he was quite smart as well. He had his head screwed on. But I just, yeah, he has given me a lot of woodwork as well. So I do feel like this gentleman was a good fixer. He fixed everything. And I want to say this isn't just with obviously mechanical stuff. I do want to say that Dad did, if there was something wrong with yourself or with any other in the family, I feel like Dad was the one to fix it. Dad always fixed the problems. So yeah, he's also given me, I know Tony gave you May, but I feel like February is quite significant as well for a birthday, because he's given me February. And I feel like there's something significant that Dad is still here.
Dad's still here, but we still want to get that in a father-in-law link, someone that's
father-in-law, because I'm definitely feeling
it to be there in the family.
Yeah, I'm actually getting that is your granddad, because he's actually saying to me grandpa. He's mentioning grandpa. But what he's saying to me, I do feel that this is Mum's dad, and Mum's still on the earth plane that he's making me aware of.
Yeah, Mum's still here.
And there's a lot of emotions around Mum that he's telling me, and he's also saying to me, just so that everyone validates this, we cannot actually see you, Danielle, but he's saying to me that at this present moment, he sat there and he's trying to wipe your eyes for you, darling. He's saying because the tears are flowing for you. And he sat right next to you at the moment. He's not gone away. He's only slipped into the next room, and eventually we all do meet back up together. But he's talking about your emotions at the moment. That's what he really needs to get across, is your emotions. He needs you to start getting your life back on order. Also, as well, can you understand why he would be turning around and saying, because he's gone back to 3 again, and although I do feel that's on a children link, he's also talking to me about 3 years ago.
He took the father role.
Right, thank you.
There you go. So
that's why I'm saying Dad.
And he's also saying to me about 3 years ago, there's something significant that happened 3 years ago. So I'm going back, obviously, 2021. Yeah, he did say grandpapa. And that's what he did just say to me, because I was saying I felt it was a granddad, and he went, no, it's grandpapa. So yeah, he's sending lots and lots of love over to you, Danielle. And he's also mentioned Rose as well. He's mentioning Rose. And he's also okay. He's also talking about he passed about 2 or 3 years ago. Okay. Thank you very much for that. But he just wants your life to get back on track, because he's saying that everything got put on hold because he was a massive, massive part of your life, darling. That's what he's telling me. And he's still a big part of your life as well. So he's telling me, just look out for the signs, especially when you feel that spider walking along your hair.
Spider.
Because it's not a spider, it's his hand, just letting you know that he's by the side of you. And he's always going to be by the side of you. Also, he's talking about the question that you're asking of the spirit world at the moment. They're not going to give you the answer, my darling. All they can do is they can guide you. They can't give you the answer. But he's saying to me, go with your heart. You need to go with your heart.
So thank you. And just quickly to finish off, when you said about the spider on her face, I actually feel there was an issue with spiders, but I actually want to go to Robert the Bruce here. So I'm coming back up to Scotland Links as well. And I want to say, if at first you don't succeed, keep on trying. And I know that would have been his mantra. Okay, so keep going. But I do want to say as well, thank you very much, Danielle. Thanks, Natalie and Tony. And for Tony that said he wouldn't come through, he just rolled there.
Yeah.
Okay, they just rolled. And Tony, like you say, we were watching how you were working, and like you say, you could see him straight away. When you were saying Rose and the names you were giving her, was that in your ear? Were you hearing that clairaudiently?
Okay, so at that time when he was giving me Rose, he did actually say the name, but there are times where they'll show me a rose, and it's down to me to decipher whether they mean the flower or whether they mean the name sometimes.
And how did it work in this link, though? Did you
So
hear?
in that link, he actually gave me the name Rose. I heard the name Rose quite clearly.
Right, that's what we're looking for. So it's like you heard the name. So that's clairaudience for you peeps that are development out there. When you hear it, and we hear it in the inner heads, that inner mind, i.e., think of a song, your favourite song, and let's just put it out there, Baby Shark. So everybody's singing Baby Shark in your inner head. Okay, and there you go, his wife is from Scotland, moved as there as a baby. Now, well done. So thank you so much, Danielle, that was lovely, and thank you, Tony and Natalie. And Tony's can write out his shyness, everybody. Thank you. Tony was shy
Done
for
it now,
10
Tony.
seconds. That's you, done it now. That's you in head first. Okay. So what we'll do now is, if you are happy with it, we'll do another one. She has a rose tattoo, that's fine. That's totally fine, because of the lap as well, we would have sorted that, and Tony would have went back. We're looking at the rose. He'd then say, right, what does this rose mean? And he would have got another picture. He'd have actually heard another word. He'd have actually felt something. So that's how we work as mediums when we get the nose. We just get back and fix that. Okay. And we just keep rolling. So
And you can, believe me, as a medium, we get it wrong. Spirit world never, ever get things wrong. Never. And I can promise you that your loved ones in spirit don't get it wrong, but sometimes we do. So there, when I'm saying I've heard the name Rose, I'm not saying that this is the case, but that could have been quite easily him saying, tell her about the rose. I heard, tell her about Rose.
Yeah, you heard Rose.
So that one word you could miss.
No, then what happens is they're just ready with the next thing. But unfortunately, because it goes so fast, then we can't get the yes, no there and then. Where Tony, straight away, he'd have straight in showing Tony or saying another word to him. Because the rose would go into the back at one point. Now, we're going to come away from this link, so we'll end up here discussing this one all night. And we don't want to do that, but I'm just having a look at some names, okay? And Richard, if it's okay at the same time, can we, for the next one, well, we'll do one, but also have a card ready. And we'll tune in a bit psychic tonight as well with the lovely oracle cards. And Richard, you choose the card if that's okay, and we'll do what we've done to start reading. But I do know I have a lovely father here, and father's looking to speak to his daughter this evening. Now, I know when I have this father here, I do know all my family weren't there when I passed over. I do know I took poorly, and I know I was a man that was always on the go. I love to walk, and I actually see I'm walking down by a river here, okay? And when I'm chatting to this man, I'm actually seeing what we call clairvoyance, so I can see the river in front of me in my mind, okay? And I can actually see as well, he walked with a dog at times, but we didn't have this dog forever, because then I see him walking on his own. I know he eventually had it was more like a stick just to plod in the ground. It was like, it looks like a wooden stick to me, but I don't feel it was a proper walking stick. I can't remember the proper terminology. And I know as well, again, very popular name, I've got James would link in, but also Margaret links in the family as well. So like I say, Dad's looking for his daughter this evening, and I know he was, I feel a strict man at times as well. I know I took poorly, and I want to get into a condition that actually started coming around my body. I do know I have a daughter as well who I'm looking for, but I know I've got grandchildren as well. I do know, in fact, my wife is still here, so my wife's still living. Okay, so where am I going with this link? Okay, so if anybody can take Dad in spirit, look for his daughter, the wife is still here living. Okay, so your mum would still be here. I know there's been a lot of family gatherings, and an anniversary came up not so long ago of Dad. Okay, I do know I want to say the name Laura would link in, and I'm looking at a school environment as well here. Okay, I'm also seeing terraced houses. So I feel I've been in a terraced house at one point, and I am going down south. Okay, so if you two want to come in off the back of this line here, now, okay, where's Terry? Terry got a Dad in spirit by any chance? Right, okay, so give me a minute.
If I can just come in there, I've got a younger female energy that's working with me as well.
Right, okay, can I work with Terry then? Thanks,
Okay.
Pete, we've got the link. Okay, so Terry, you there, darling? Yeah, I'm so excited. Right, so the walking stick, I don't feel it was a proper walking stick, because I've asked to go back here with this, and the walking stick, it just looks like a staff. It's where you would just like take a stick from the branches and just walk now and again instead of plug it into the grounds. I really can't remember the name of them, but it's certainly not a proper walking stick with a limp. He didn't have mobility or anything. I do know also, I want to look at a moustache here, and I feel the moustache was on and off. I do know I had a good head of hair, but I know my hair got pretty grey, but I still feel I want to be proud that I always had a good head of hair. I do see glasses, but I see the glasses on and off here quite a bit. And I do want to say as well, okay, I feel there would be a brother somewhere, Dad would have a sibling. Would any of that make sense, Terry? Okay, if you can type in the box if you're hovering about. Okay, and I do know as well, okay, I do know I left my wife, but my wife, who would be your mum then, okay, and I do feel this has been such a heartache at the moment, because I feel we still are looking at the memories. I feel this is really raw, okay, and every passing, I certainly don't mean to sound disrespectful, because every passing is raw no matter how long, but I really feel this really raw here. So I know we're still looking and we're still looking and going through tears about Dad as well. I do know as well I've got an Ellen somewhere, okay? I've just seen Ellen round about. And I do want to say as well, right, okay, 4. I want to say there's another couple of grandchildren about, okay? Yeah, the stick, yeah, I got that, okay? The stick's just like a walking aid that fancy like men would pick up, but no, as in he had a walking stick, i.e. let's go down to the woods today and just grab a branch and use it to walk. One of these, right, thank you. I finally got it. Because like I say, again, as a medium, I have to stand up to the plate and fix that. Okay, get the tash on and off, and I love that word tash. I was being nice, Terry. Okay, and I do want to say as well, though, but I want to put as well his father in spirit with him. Well, I don't want to put him there, but I know he would go over there as well. And I do want to say as well, I come to the month of March again because I've seen the daffodil, but I know as well the name Andy or Andrew links in there as well because I've just seen Andrew coming up. I do want to say Dad was quite an intelligent soul. I feel I could sing at times and I want to go out and about, and I really feel I want to be the character and the Joker, if that would make sense to you, Terry. And I feel he was just such a vivacious man because I just see this big wide grin on his face. So I know he loved to laugh, okay? And I know he loved to be the life and soul. I feel as well he did become frustrated when he started taking poorly because he couldn't look after Mum. Okay, and I feel this was part of the most emotional thing, that he felt his job as a father, he couldn't do that and be Mum's husband, but he was, because Mum helped look after him. You would have been there to help with your dad as well. But he wants to say how much he loves you. He did get the chance to say, I love you and thank you for being there for me as much as we've done the role reversal in life. Thank you. So he sang and played the guitar. But I know we did the role reversal in life. And he says, thank you so much for being there for me and for helping me when I came to my crossing over to the other side. So thank you, Terry. And you know that your dad's with you because your dad still guides you. You know that to this day. He will still guide you. And as we know, they can't interfere. Nobody can do with universal law because physically they can't anyway. But he does want to say continue on doing things. And I'm dropping to what we call the psychic a bit because I'm tuning into what we call your energy now. And I do want to do some other, I feel it's more like a module I want to do because I want to continue advancing, but I want to change slightly the career I'm in. I want to take a side step or completely do something different here. And I want to say, I've just seen the brain there in front of me. So I do want to have a better understanding of people. But I do, when I'm looking at the brain, I don't feel I'm going right into psychology, but I do know you are looking at something we need to get that continual development so you can change where you go in your career. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much. I probably got that part wrong, but one it is. Okay, so you know Dad's with you and you keep pushing on with your diploma, Terry. And thank you so much for letting me work with you. And thank you for me not letting anybody else step in the night. Ha, Tony. Sorry, Richard. Right, the message is keep continuing and Dad's guiding her. Okay, because sometimes we don't actually have a proper message. What happens is mediums get hung up looking for a message, but Dad's just coming in to say it is roundabout. Okay, and that's why we get the evidence in the first place, and that's why we're drawn and come through with the evidence, because your dad was wanting to come in tonight and chat to show that he could chat, and he is still there with you, and to say thank you for looking after him before he passed over. So thank you.
Yeah, I've got a lady that stepped in by the side of me as well, and she's desperate to talk to her sister on here. And I know it's her sister because she said to me, I need to talk to my sister quickly. And it's not going to be a very long message because she just wants to come through and let you know that she's all right. She's talking about June being very significant. So I know that's very little information at the moment, but that's what she's given me, because you would know that your sister is in spirit, obviously, but you would know the information from this. I know that she suffered a little bit at the end of her life, because she's saying to me that she's all pain-free, and she's in the spirit world, and she's with Nana. She's with Nana. And also as well, she's talking about that. Okay, she's talking to me as well about something significant that you would have put in her coffin with her. And she's telling me that I don't need to know. I want to know what that is. I've asked her to give it to me, but she won't, because it's a private thing between you and her. And she's really, really sending out lots of love, just to say that. Okay, who's that? Deborah.
So we've got Deborah, that's your link.
Okay. My problem is, I will tell everyone quickly. My problem is I am one of these mediums that I am true to the word, because if I'm not true to the word, I'm not giving spirit their right thoughts, if you know what I mean. I have to be true.
And
and
see, when
Deborah,
you're saying you have to be true, Tony, what do you mean by that?
the reason why I'm saying that is because I have to be true, and Deborah, I'm not getting that link that it's your sister. This message is meant for somebody else. There will be somebody else here who's lost their sister, and there's lots and lots of tears around this as well.
How does it feel with Susan? We've got Susan there as well, Tony.
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking at the screen,
That's
because
okay.
I try
What's
not
your
to
feeling?
look so that I don't get information. I'll look above the screen
That's
if
okay.
possible.
That's okay.
Suzanne, I've got to be truthful again, darling. I'm sorry. I'd love to bring your sister through to you, but I have to be true to myself, because if I'm not true to myself, I don't want to be giving out these messages. And it just doesn't fit for me. It really doesn't fit. I know you've lost your sister, but
So we're looking for that quickening. Tony knows when he'll have the quickening in his stomach, and Melvin Peters.
Melvin, there you go. It's
there
just
you go.
really. No, sorry, it didn't. I'm really sorry there. It hit me in the stomach, but it's because Vicky was coming in. They knew Vicky was going to come in. Vicky, I am with you, darling.
Natalie, can you hold
please?
the sister for Melvin for me, and we'll show you how we work, and we're going to break it down. Melvin, we'll come back to you, because I get the quickening, and I know for a fact Natalie did, and Tony's holding his communicator because he's experienced. Okay, so when we say holding the communicator, that just means Tony's got a strong enough energy in his diaphragm, so to speak, that he can hold and keep that in his mind. Okay, keep your sister there, Vicky. So Tony, sorry for jumping in, but I have to explain how we work.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you take it away.
It was the same as when Clara was giving that gentleman out for the last reader that she was given. I had this lady with me, and they're not going to go away because they want to get their message across. So yeah, they
Tony's
will
not
stay
going to go away either.
Exactly. I'm not going to go away until I've got that message, because I know that this lady is going to really, really sit with me all evening tonight if I don't give her a message out, because she's making me give her a message. And Vicky, she's talking to me. Message. She wants to talk about the Earth plane at the moment, and she's saying to me that there's some. Was it you? Did you care for her, or is there someone you're caring for at the moment? Because she's talking about you caring. And I do feel that it was caring for her, because it's weird because somebody there has put thank you, and I do feel that's from her. She's saying to me, that's me saying thank you. So I hope you can understand where she's coming from here. She's talking about, although it wasn't drawn out, there was an illness at the end of her life. And I do feel around the heart and the chest, I do feel that that's really, really strong there. And she's telling me as well, she wants to talk to me about Paul, she's saying you would understand Paul, and you would also understand. Oh, there must be another one because they wouldn't give me the name. There must be another Vicky. You cannot be the only Vicky because she's talking to me about Vicky as well. And she wouldn't give me your name, darling. She would give me another one. She's also as well going back to June. And she wants to go June the 4th as well. And also as well, she's talking to me about 1998 being significant. And also she wants to talk about the wedding ring that came off on the earth plane. There's a wedding ring that came off on the earth plane. She's just wanting you to know that she is around you again all the time, and she's just coming in really, really quick with that proof. I'm here, bang. And she'd have been one of these people as well that would have had her say, and she'd have gone. Because all of a sudden, she's had her say, and bang, she's gone. So I can't even say thank you for working with me to her because she'd already gone. And there you go, breast cancer. So I knew it was around the chest. So I'm going to have to say thank you for working with me, Vicky. Bless you.
Thank you so much, Tony. And like I say, Natalie and I, like I say, and I hope you've seen the humour as well as Medium is working. And yes, to the ring, thank you for the validation. It just shows how quick we have to get in as well when we're working and give the info, because it does come fast. You can see Tony now, he's sitting there, you can see the adrenaline, you can actually see his chest rising. Give you a wee shirt, a wee wipe. And like I say, it just came right in and went boom or bang, as Tony would say. And when Tony was doing that, and like when I was doing my reading as well, now just get back to how we develop. Natalie's holding, disciplined, our communicator here as well. Okay, we'll go back to you, Melvin. But also what happens is I was seeing a lot, and I was actually seeing names getting written in front of my eyes when I was working with Terry. So again, that was clairvoyance. And what I do is I just wait and I start seeing actual writing scrolling in front of me. Okay, then what happened is I was hearing the names in my ear, so that I remember people starts clairaudience. And then what I could do was I started feeling how her father was as well, and I could feel the pride. And that's why sometimes if I smile, it's not always me smiling, but I can feel their smile and I can see them. Okay, and when Tony was working there again, Tony started working with his feelings. Okay, so your clairsentience, his clairvoyance, okay, because he was seeing everything really quickly, and his clairaudience, and he just fired in. Okay, and went back to the dates and things. And sometimes, like you say, the ring, he knows the ring was taken off, and we will say that, okay, where the ring was left, and he was spot on with that as well. Because if somebody said the ring, as mentors, we would be asking the medium, what about the ring? We can't just leave a ring a doggy bag. No. And Tony actually came right in and said what was to do. So without further ado, poor Natalie, I'm going to let Natalie come in now. Natalie's an ornament tonight, everybody. Right, she's a pretty face and she's actually supporting tonight. Did she come in? So let's Natalie take it away, my darling.
Yep. So I do feel like I do have your sister, Melvin. And I want to say that this lady was she was quite open-minded, this lady, and I want to say that she was actually like a bit of an open book, because I do feel like this lady would say what she wanted when she wanted to say it, and she wouldn't care how anybody felt. But I also know that this lady, when it comes to this lady's family, when it comes to your sister's family, I want to say she had a big heart. She had a big heart, but she wasn't afraid to tell you no. She wasn't afraid to tell you no. Sorry, I do know that this lady did have I do want to put a cancerous condition on this lady as well, to be quite honest. I do want to say this lady had cancer as well, but I want to say it was more, I want to say when this lady got diagnosed, it was really quick. It was really quick. I want to say within a matter of months, I want to say that this lady had passed. I do want to say that your sister was a jolly lady though, and your sister did like a party, because she was taking me to the dance floor as well. So I'm getting taken to the dance floor quite a bit tonight. So I do know this lady did like a party. I do know that she did like socialising as well. This lady did like a bit of socialisation. And I feel like when she got ill, I want to say that kind of drifted a bit, because I want to say she didn't want people seeing her ill. But I do know that this lady, you and this lady would have a sister ring, and you would have a matching sister ring, because she's shown me the sister ring. But I also want to say there was a necklace as well. This necklace was quite significant to yourself, and I want to say she actually gave you this necklace. I want to say this is your necklace from her as a gift. Oh, right. I do also know that this is still quite fresh. Obviously, I did just see the date, but I do want to say, in your mind, this is still quite fresh. I want to say you haven't had that chance to grieve, because I want to say there was another passing after hers. And I want to say this was a gentleman, but I want to say there was another passing after hers. So you didn't quite get that time to grieve properly. I also know that this lady did lose a lot of weight, because she's making me aware she did lose a lot of weight. But I also know this lady did laugh. She did laugh till her very last breath, bless her. I feel like she didn't make this diagnosis get her down. She did not make it get her down. And I think, yeah, no, I definitely feel like she did not let this get her down. She laughed to the very last breath. But I do feel like there was more than one person around her, because I'm seeing more than one person around her. I'm actually seeing 3 people around her. So I do know that there was 3 people that were very significant in this lady's life, and I want to say it was yourself, and I actually want to say she's got 2 other siblings. So I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what I feel. I will pass you on to Clara, because I'm struggling now, and I know Clara's got something to say.
Can I just jump in very, very quickly there, because she made me aware as well, Natalie. I'm sorry, but she made me aware when I think it was someone put in there that she died of COVID.
Yes, she did.
She's made me aware that there's been questions asked about this. She didn't actually die of COVID. It was just that they were told to put that on the death certificates at the time. You know what she actually passed of. And I feel that Natalie was right on what she was saying. So she just butted in and made me bring that over.
Yeah, and I also feel, as Natalie said as well, and thanks, Tony, I also feel as well, when Natalie said 3 people in the hospital, but I want to go to 2 at one point, because I see 4 hands, okay, in my mind. So I know that would be 2 people round about it as well. And I do want to say as well, as Natalie said, she had such a bright smile, and it was her eyes that did the talking. Okay, because I want to keep saying my eyes, my eyes, my eyes. And I want to say Nancy, there would be a Nancy element in her, because I keep saying the name Nancy, but I feel, and her character was, she knew everything that was going on. Because in my mind, I've just seen the Nancy Drew magazines back in the day. And Nancy Drew was a like female sleuth, so to speak, okay, and she definitely passed with COVID, okay.
I need to split that wrong then, I picked that up.
Yeah. So, and what I want to say is, like I say, she was a bit of a detective in her day, okay, so I know, and I don't feel it was her job, but she certainly would not have missed a trick, she's telling me. She was a city that I want to be the boss of the family at times, and I was like, I want to stand up for everyone. And she was just such a good soul. As Natalie said, I see the wild child coming in at times. But I also want to say as well, I get back to February here, because I feel I also want to say, in fact, back to February, that was last year, I'm coming forward to February. Yeah, we're in January, aren't we? Yeah, right, so we're going forward to February. So I do want to say happy birthday for a birthday that's coming up in February as well in the family. I do know there will be a twin link somewhere in the family, because I want to put the 2s up here, which is normally a twin link for me. But I do feel as well, I took poorly as well. I actually want to go back to March here, but in March in 2020, starting in March, and I know we went into lockdown, but I feel she didn't have much time. Okay, right, okay, she did stand up for people in her job. I just feel I didn't have much time, as Natalie said, so it was all quickly diagnosed. I do know there was chats with the doctors, as you say, but I do know these chats where no one is listening to us at one point. You felt as if people, I can just see people, everything falling in deaf ears, and then suddenly everything was taken seriously. But your sister does say thank you, because you had to do a lot of, how can I say, shouting in a strict way, or we had to raise our voice, and there was nothing wrong with that, with what you did. I feel you were run ragged at one point, and seeing your sister, looking after family, because I feel as well, I'm talking to mum here as well, so you were telling the family everything that was going on, and you more or less had to stand up to the plate to do everything. Okay, so know that your sister's here and she's coming through all of this, but she's coming through as well to say, don't hold the old memories of how she was passing, because it wasn't the prettiest sight for you to deal with. But she wants you to know she was a good looking woman. And I want to get back to the photograph you would have sitting of your sister and look at that, because I know she's gleaming in the photograph, her skin is shining, and I do want to say she wants remembered with that, and I want to put a butterfly on a photograph as well, and also a love heart as well, sitting there as well. Okay, so you know that your sister's with you, Melvin, and thank you so much for letting us work up with you. Thank you.
I am getting the name Anne before we leave. I am getting the name Anne. I'm not saying that's her name, but I know the name Anne would link in somewhere.
There you go. And I'm sorry to say that she passed on your twin son's birthday. So that's emotional and very bittersweet now for you. But do carry on, and you remember, hold her legacy, because she did fight for injustices. She did fight for people, and you hold that. Okay. And she's also saying amazing grace. Keep that amazing grace you would have, and you take that with you. So thank you. Okay, now what we're going to do now is, thank you everyone, we're going to have a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back just in a couple of minutes. Thank you.
Introducing the SPTV app, your digital spiritual guide, for an enlightening journey like no other. Immerse yourself in a world of audio and visual content, crafted to inspire, educate, and entertain. Seek guidance with our card of the day, choosing up to 6 cards for personal insights. Enhance your daily life with our wellness section, featuring nutritious recipes, affirmations, and balanced living tips. Explore our spiritualism section for a deep understanding of the religion, its principles, and spiritual answers. Unravel the secrets of the Clares and broaden your spiritual horizon. Easily find local readers, therapists, centers, or churches with our comprehensive directory. Stay connected with live broadcasts, check our schedule, and get to know our insightful presenters. Delve into the meanings of angel numbers, crystals, and a comprehensive list of divination meanings. All of this and more, available for free on the SPTV app. Download now at sptv.uk/app and start your journey with your digital spiritual guide.
Tomorrow night from 8 p.m, SPTV is joined by another guest who will be demonstrating their mediumship abilities by offering free readings to our viewers. This Sunday from 11 a.m, Wimbledon Spiritualist Church hosts the Divine Service, with online and on-location readings.
And welcome everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Psychic TV, and I hope you've been enjoying the show so far this evening. Excuse me. And before we get ready to start, we'll do another link, but we're going to do one with a card this time. If you can choose peeps, I'm sure some of you know, but for you that don't know, Richard now has the SPTV app live now. Now it's for Android phone users only. At the moment, it's not out there for iPhone, but if you can download the app and have a look at the app, see what you think. There's affirmations in it. You get a card of the day. You'll also look at the directory for mediums. There's everything out there, and have a look and leave a review. That would be wonderful, because that's what then keeps the app running for everyone. We want to keep that going out there, because a lot of other apps out there you pay. This one's entirely free, peeps, so make good use of it. And hi Penny, lovely to see you this evening too. Hiya. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, and by the way, we've all got the apps and we love it because we even do card of the day, but we won't admit that. Okay, silly things. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to I think we're going to pull a card this time. And if Richard can get the Oracle cards now, they'll also be on the app. You'll be able to see them. Thank you. And the Oracle cards, there was a limited edition made. They were only 100. Okay. However, you will be able to again have a look and do card of the day. That's all you can do. Cards are now gone. Okay. So lucky you if you managed to get them. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at one card. We will come in both ways here. Psychic and medium mystic. Psychic, again, is just going with your intuition. And your intuition, for you peeps that would love to know what that is, we look at a card and it's very similar to mediumship. We look at the card, then we start getting images in our own head. We get feelings, we get smells, we get everything, and then we just start reading. Okay, mediumship, again, we can springboard from that card over to a communicator, and we're going to show you a bit of both tonight, and they're very, very similar how we work. Nothing magic. Like I say, if you don't believe in magic, everything's science. If you believe in science, then you don't believe in magic. The job is bringing both worlds together, and that's how we work. Okay, so Richard, can we have a card and please? Right, okay, and what we'll do at the same time is I'm going to put Tony in the spot now tonight. Since Tony's a mentor and Tony's been there, and look at me, he's just sat up there like the school child there, as if he was the naughty chair there. He's just sat up. School teacher now, Nanny McPhee. Right, so what we're going to do is, I know for a fact Tony's got a communicator there, because I can see his heart racing already, and I can feel it. Okay, and we're going to get Tony now to read off the quip, and Natalie will then come in as well. So Tony, take it away.
Okay, so I have got a communicator with me, and I've got a gentleman that's coming in by the side of me, and this gentleman is telling me that he was a cuddly gentleman when he was on the earth-plane. But I do feel that he lost weight at the end of his life. I do feel that this is his husband and he wants to talk to his wife that is here on the earth-plane. And I do feel that his wife that's on the earth-plane, nothing serious, but she's been a bit under the weather lately. And he's trying to, I hope I can say this, if not Clara's going to hit me, but he's trying to give that kick up the backside.
It's fine.
To carry on and move on. He's also mentioning the name of Patrick. He's definitely called out Pat. He's also talking to me as well about, he's saying to me about a red rose is very, very significant. And I know that's quite a lot of people that can take that, but this would be very significant because he's talking about the red rose that was kissed and placed on him. And he wants to kiss that red rose and give back to this lady on the earth plane. That's how significant the red rose is. He's also talking to me as well, and he's on about a again, 2 children on the earth plane he's talking about. And I do feel that this is grandchildren. I do feel he's just told me about 2020. He's talking about 2020. So I don't know if that's when he passed or why he's saying that. I've asked him, but he's saying that, again, the significance would be with the person that can take this gentleman. And I do feel that, okay, thank you. He's just said to me that it would have been, I do feel it would have been his passing, because he's now talking to me about he went in COVID times and his funeral wouldn't have been a massive thing, whereas if it was out of COVID, it would have been a massive thing. Okay, you just bear with us. He's just said to me, come on, she should know who I am now. She should be coming forward.
Would this be somebody's father, Tony, or grandfather?
No, it's definitely 100% a husband. Definitely a husband. He's making that really, really clear that it is a husband.
Okay, and his name is not Patrick, but Patrick links into the family. Try not to get thrown with the name, because some people do that, don't they, Natalie, Tony? And they get hung up in the name. So Patrick links into the family. There would also be an Irish link there as well. So someone would either have travelled to Ireland or they have family and ancestors in Ireland. Okay, so this is someone's husband's that has passed over, or even partner. I want to look at the partner, Tony. Would that make sense? Husband or partner live together.
Yeah, he did actually come through and say to me, "I'm hubby."
Right.
That was his exact words to me, was "I'm hubby." So I can't change anything that they give. And I'm not saying, like Clara said, I'm not saying his name's Patrick. He's just thrown that name out there. Could be his name, but he's just thrown it out there. And also as well, okay, he's talking as well about, okay, can you give me information? No? Okay. Do you know what? The names just come up on my... Penny, can you take this? Because he's just spoke to me about Penny.
Jodie.
No. Sorry, Jodie. I'd love to give you a message, mate, but it's not right. It's not right. He's just said to me about Penny. I thought he meant the penny coin. But all of a sudden, I don't know if anyone else saw it, but Penny came up on my...
Penny's been there for a little while.
Feed.
She's been there
Penny,
for a
can you
while.
understand hubby in spirit? Okay. I'm going to work on a little bit more with this gentleman. I really don't feel that link with Jodie there. I'm sorry, Jodie. I'd love to. I would be distruthful to myself, and I would be distruthful with the spirit world. I have to give it as it is.
No, it's not Grandad.
No, it's not Grandad. It's definitely a husband, hubby. No, definitely not Grandad. And Penny, you can't take this, no? Is Penny still on? Do we know?
Don't know. Can we have a look at partner? Because sometimes what people do say in other cultures and in Scotland, people sometimes class their hubby, whether they're married or not, they'll still say that's my hubby and wifey. Right, and that's when people are cohabiting. Okay, so I'd maybe look at that as well, Tony, and that's very that culturally gets said a lot up here.
Yeah. By all means, it could be. Yeah,
but I want to look at a partner as well, and not just contain this with husbands. Would that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And obviously, as I say, we can get it wrong, but I will say that when he came in, he did actually mention hubby.
But sometimes they do that.
Sometimes they could mention that because that's what they felt.
Yeah, because when you're cohabiting, some people don't want the actual married ring. They don't want to go through the drama. They don't want to go through, could we split up, sort of thing. But they call themselves husband and wife, and still my wifey, my hubby, when they've lived together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. That.
So,
Yeah.
but you're spot on with it. There we go, Georgina. Right, okay. So we have a partner, husband here, okay, and this man, the name Patrick links into the man, but he's also saying as well that he's done a lot of work. Tony, could you start coming back in? I know there were Irish links there. I know this man travelled but the ancestry. The rose is very significant. This was placed either on him or on his coffin, okay, and he wants to give that back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he wants to give it back with that kiss that it was gave to him as. He's making me quite aware that it was give to him with a lot of love and a big kiss. So yeah, he's making sure that he's giving it back with that. Do you know what? He will not take me away from Penny. I'm really, really sorry, guys. I know what I'm.
The only thing is, Tony, see if she's not here.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Now, the penny could be pennies from heaven, okay? Because I want to say a penny from heaven here, and I want to get back to that now, because I feel we actually said pennies for heaven, and that was in that film, and because I'm looking at A Wonderful Life here. That would also take me back to the month of November and December with them, so I'm looking at anniversaries here as well. I don't feel birthdays, but I feel anniversary type-wise. I do want to say as well, David will come in there as well. And there's also a nickname or a Nicky name, because I want to put that on the earth. I'd also know as well, we would have no Danielle, we're not with you, my darling. Unfortunately, this is a partner or a husband.
And also as well, I'm getting as well that this gentleman...
Yes, Irish link. Yeah, absolutely, Georgina. Irish link. So there is that in the family. And it was an Irish link. They actually knew friends, but there was travelling at one point back and forth. Okay.
I'm also getting as well that this gentleman's making me aware that his funeral would have been a cremation, because he's making me aware of some jewellery that he is actually still in. That would be quite significant as well, that his ashes would have been put in jewellery. So someone would be able to take that, being very significant. But it's a rose. He keeps going back to this rose. And Michelle, I know what you're saying about your cousin.
Right.
And someone called Penny, but I'm really sorry, darling. I would love to make it fit, but I don't do that. It has to be true. It has to be true from the heart.
And this is what we love about our mediumship. We cannot make it fit and say, right, we're going to go with this, because then the mediumship goes all over the place. And as Tony said, and Natalie will agree, we would be distrustful then to the other world, the spirit world, to us and to use. So if you can put that, this man would come through as a husband, then we're fine, or a cohabiting partner. I'm actually going to take you down to London as well. Okay, Natalie, have you got anything in this? Because I want to go to London with this connection as well. I see the docks of London. I actually see St Catherine Docks here, and that normally takes me to the name Catherine or Cathy as well. I do know I like to sit and eat an Indian. There's an Indian restaurant there, because I want to eat there, and I want to look at the Thistle Tower in London as well. Now, the reason I'm getting this is I'm looking at memories, because I used to work there. And I want
to say London is a memory. London is a memory that you would have done with him, and I also want to say the London Eye as well. I want to say you went on the London Eye as well. I do know that this gentleman, I want to say that he had some sort of degenerative muscle type thing, because I feel really frustrated at the end of my life. And I also wanted to say, I do know this gentleman was losing control of his hands. I feel like he couldn't grip, and he was getting really frustrated with that. And so I'm not sure if you could take that to Georgina, but that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like he got really annoyed with himself at the end of his life, coming up to the end of his life, sorry. But I do want to say, I do know that I don't feel like you were there when he passed, and I'm not sure if that's because of COVID or if that was a choice, but I do not feel like you were there when he passed. But I feel like There was a phone call. There was a phone call. Because I do feel like there was a phone call. I do feel like you spoke to him before he passed. I do know that there was a lot of holidays with this gentleman, because I am seeing a lot of holidays. I am seeing you going on planes and stuff. So I do know there was a lot of trips with this gentleman, and he wants you to remember him like that. He wants you to remember him like that, because I feel like when he got this diagnosis, or if he didn't get the diagnosis, I feel like this would have been looked into, because I definitely feel something in my hands. Definitely feel something with my hands. Frustration. Right, thank you. Yeah, so I want to say, whatever this diagnosis was, it changed him as a person. It changed him as a person. And I want to say, he doesn't want you to remember him like that person, because I feel like he just got so frustrated with himself so easily. He become really, really sharp. And that's not how he wants to be remembered. He wants you to remember all those memories. He wants you to he wants you to go back down to the London Eye, and he wants you to go sightseeing. Because I feel like that's what he's did when he's went on holiday. He's went sightseeing. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting he's going sightseeing. He wants you to go to the big beaches with the bright blue sea and the warm sand and that. He wants not plain holidays.
Not a lot of
Hopefully it
holidays are
makes
plain, but that
Right.
could be as well. The holidays don't have to just be out with the
No.
UK, but that makes sense. So we have
Yeah.
to go back and fix that then as to why we're seeing the holidays abroad. And I feel it was a wish at one point. However, I do feel some of the other family went abroad. Okay.
I
And
do
the
feel like
other-
it was definitely a wish.
Yep. And also the London Eye, I want to say as well, we had a problem with the eye at one point because I can't see properly here, and it's not me, we don't get that we go blind or anything. It's just a trigger that can give down through the brain memory. Okay, now if you can't take the part, see, this is why I'm not sure we're sitting
I
here.
don't feel it's the
not
right
for you.
link. That's
not
why
for
I've
you.
sat back, because I don't feel it's the right link still.
I'm still not with the penny. That girl, it's not a granddad. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to come back from that because if someone can't take this link, I don't see the point of carrying on.
I really do feel that it is for Penny, and I don't know if she's still on or not.
Right, Brenda Walker.
Brenda,
thank you so much. We've got the link. So our husband Pat passed in November, no feeling in his hand. I found him passed, we were texting before. So you're right, yep. Planning and travelling, cremated, made 2 necklaces. There's your link.
there's your link. There we go.
Okay, and can you understand as well, Brenda, why he would be making the rose so significant? Can you understand as well that there was something that was placed on his chest? That's what I want to say. Do you know what? There's where my link is. I'm sorry.
Right, you're
Penny,
with Penny.
can you understand that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, do you want me to move a little bit?
Penny,
is that any better?
I'll go with the other girl, because I'm with the other girl, not the 9, you're with Penny.
Okay. Penny, can you understand this gentleman? And it has to be hubby. It cannot be you put something about mother and father loved holidays, but this gentleman is definitely a hubby. Can you understand hubby in spirit? And also as well, I want to go 2020 being very, very significant with this gentleman as well. And I want to say that this gentleman would have been a gentleman that would have shown his love to you as well. You'd have known that he loved you. I know this is my link. I know it. I really do.
Penny, is there any way you could write and try and type to validate this for Tony? Say, yes, this is my hubby, so we know it's getting validated and so Tony can carry on. It's important that we get confirmation here when we're working. Yes, no, husband, but ideally we're looking for that validation. So Tony can keep linking in as well, because he's holding this communicator as well. We're holding our communicator, and but look, we're disciplined, but we need that validation.
And if I can just say, Penny, because this gentleman now is telling me that things are really, really raw with you still, and it's still quite upsetting. So if you really, really don't want this link, if you're not ready for this link at this present moment, just say stop, and we can stop the link straight away. But this gentleman is definitely coming in for you. I'm hoping that you can hear what we're saying, or
Right, she's divorced. So
okay, but is hubby in spirit or is he here? That whether you're divorced or not, he would have still been hubby.
At that time.
That's where I'm really feeling down that line, and I cannot take that away. I really can. Clara, do you want to go with your link at the moment? Well, we're trying to.
Yep.
And I'll try and get this gentleman in more.
Yep. We need fast fingers on the button, guys. Let's go for the buzzer. And there, Richard, is there any way we can get back in the comments? Right, Penny's got no idea at the moment. Right, let us run with the other link a moment. Richard, I actually can't remember the other name. There was someone that could take more or less everything. Can you remember, Natalie?
No, I can't.
Right, okay, because the husband was called Pat. There was an Irish link there. It was someone that their partner or husband was called Pat. Right, okay. Now we do have humour. It's mediums. Okay, and part of our job as mediums as well is we do have that.
Brenda, that's the one.
Brenda, thank you so much. Okay, so Pat was your husband, passed in November. You've got 2 necklaces made with his ashes. No Penny, but I want to go to the Penny. I want to go to Wonderful Life film, which did take me to November, and I apologise. I actually looked at that something different in November, but I do feel A Wonderful Life makes sense, because I know when I have your husband now, when I'm looking even at the film A Wonderful Life, I'm saying not everything was about money. We worked hard at one point, but then we eventually had to learn your health is your wealth. Would that make sense? Right, okay, that's fine. The rose is fine for
Rose
us.
is for the other lady.
That's for the other lady, okay?
That's my link.
That's Tony's link, so you can give that back to Tony. We don't want it, Brenda. Okay. Right, okay. And I do want to say though as well, and I'm even looking at Stairways to Heaven here, and I'm actually looking at the Eagles, and I'm hearing the Eagles in my ear singing Hotel California. So I feel I do go back in time here when I'm looking at all these different bands. I do know as well a very popular name again, and I'm going to give you the name James. There is a James over in Spirit World, and I want to say the name Linda would link in somewhere as well, because I want to say Linda Walker. Now, I don't feel it's Linda Walker, the full name, but Linda will come in. And I want to go to Mum's side of the family. Yet, say worked hard, didn't care about it, and eventually became your wealth is your health. I was going to say health is your wealth, but I've got that back to front. So I also know as well, I do feel I was a bit of a character, and I knew I could say it how it was, Brenda. Okay, and I know you're pretty the same, if that would make sense. I've just read that, but I do feel as well, we didn't do confrontation, but I knew I actually could say it how it was, because I wanted to leave the legacy I was known as a talker, that I said what I had to say, and everybody knew where they stood. I do come to the month of April, so I do want to put the birthday in the month of April, and I do feel as well, I'm hearing the song Shaking Stevens here, Behind the Green Door. So Linda's a very good friend, thank you. So I do want to go to Shaking Stevens here and singing Behind the Green Door. I've got Alvin Stardust singing Let's Pretend, and The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Now, that was the first record that I ever bought. So that takes me to 1989. Okay, now 1989, I want to go back there in childhood here. So I know we looked at different things in 1989, and I want to make bigger commitments in life. I want to say the family were always together round about then, and I feel family is quite a big thing. Okay, now I'm going to quickly hand you to Natalie, see if she can come in this, okay, and see if Tony, but Natalie, fire away, my darling.
Yeah. So I definitely felt the hands. There was something with the hands, and obviously you have verified that, and you said that there was no feeling in the hands. But I do feel like this did change his personality when he got this diagnosis, and I feel like he changed as a person, but not just his personality, but I feel like he changed as a person, and I feel like he's sort of drifted apart for a bit. But I also know that this gentleman was quite high in his pride. I want to say he was very, very pride orientated, and I want to say this gentleman did not like it when he could not do things for himself, and he needed that helping hand. I do also know that, see, just looking at your picture there, right, I do know that there is a bauble on the Christmas tree for this gentleman, and this gentleman is aware that there is a bauble being put on this Christmas tree for him. And I also want to say that there's actually, like, I'm getting shown plates, right, and I want to say this gentleman had a specific plate on Christmas Day, right, and I want to say this was quite a large plate. So I know this gentleman did like his food, and he did like his Christmas dinner. But I do want to say that I do feel like this gentleman did cook Christmas dinner as well, though, because he's just making me aware I did the cooking on Christmas Day. So I do feel like this gentleman did do the cooking on Christmas Day. But like I said previously, I do feel like this gentleman is wanting you to remember him as his happy, jolly self. And I do want to say there was a lot of travelling, because I do see the travelling, right? I do see the travelling. And I also want to say he wants you to go on holiday, because I feel like that thought's there. That thought's there. So he's telling you to go. Because I feel like you keep finding a reason not to go. But he's telling you go. And I actually want to put grandchildren there as well. So I do know that there is grandchildren around you, because I do feel the little toddlers kind of dotting about. But I also know they've offered you to go on holiday with them. You sure like
your cooking.
But I do know there is grandchildren, and I feel like your daughter, I want to say your daughter has been asking you to go on holiday with her, and so he's telling you to go. But I will leave you this gentleman's love, because I feel like that's all I'm getting. But he is just telling you go on holiday, go. So I will leave you this gentleman's love, and thank you for allowing us to bring him through. And I'm glad we got him to the right person in the end.
Tony, I'm getting off his nuts. Okay, and it's funny when Natalie said about the Christmas, it's quite interesting. I've seen the Brussels sprouts with pepper on them. Okay, but I also as well, would you I understand, I keep saying bridies. Okay, so see the pastry bridies. So I want to eat bridies, but I also want to give the name Bridie or Bridget. Now that's quite interesting. It's quite like a completely different name. Because I want to go to Bridget, and I want to go to the salt markets here with the ladies well, and with your husbands. So I know he was a character. Okay, so thank you so much for that, and Natalie, thank you so much, and thank you, Tony. So everyone, thank you for this evening. And there's your validation, Natalie. We've had a lovely evening tonight again, showing just how different we work, but we all come together as one, because we're always looking for that same outcome. Showing communication, but different styles. And I hope you enjoyed this evening, again, watching Natalie's journey and bringing in Tony this evening. Okay, now, again, we have our own circles, and Tony also has an awareness circle on a Friday night. I have mine on a Tuesday and a Thursday evening. And remember, peeps, download the app. Okay, get downloading the app. get reviewing on it, and get having a little nosy on it and seeing what all the buttons are, and get your affirmations of the day.
The big thing you need to remember there, everyone, is the fact that that word FREE, free. Anything that's free, get it. Believe me, get it. And the app is well worth getting.
Yeah. So thank you very much for being with us tonight. And you'll see us again in 2 weeks. We've got Karen and Nick on Monday morning. Not sure who's on tomorrow, or Richard. Okay, peeps, so yeah. So you have a wonderful treat in store. You have Anita tomorrow night. You have Anita tomorrow night. And so that's another wonderful treat. And again, looking at mediumship readings and also that wee bit of terminology in there. So thank you again for sharing everything with us this evening, guys. Women, peeps, they.
Yeah.
So thank you. Okay, and we'll say goodbye from us.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. Have a good weekend.